Before we get into Jack Del Rio, I wanted to take 1 minute to thank you guys for a couple of things real quick. First, I appreciate you sharing the content or continuing to share the content. The first full week of June, we have added almost 1,000 new subscribers to the channel. YouTube right now is pushing the hell out of the channel. We're on pace for over 10 million impressions for the month of June. Impressions are directly tied to activity on the channel, likes, comments, average view duration, which is how much of the video you guys watch. All of those metrics are up, which is causing YouTube to push the content to potential new subscribers. I would not be here without you guys. I appreciate your continued support. And second, I appreciate all of you who donated to the young cheerleaders in the San Francisco Bay Area. When I brought the fundraiser to your attention, they hadn't received any donations. I think it was something like 3 days. You guys donated close to $1,100 to help them fight their corrupt school system. The parents, they could not believe that complete strangers cared enough to help them out. They appreciate your support. I just wanted to relay that message to you. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it. You guys know my stance when it comes to the merging of politics and sports. I don't like it. When I watch the NFL, I don't want to hear about Donald Trump. I damn sure don't want to hear about Joe Biden. Have you ever heard that saying, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube? It's the same analogy here. Once you allow the fungus of politics to infect something, especially the religion of wokeism, it is extremely difficult to go back to put the toothpaste back in the tube. Over the last 2 years, graduates of Woke U, they have used the platform of sports to promote their demented agenda. They have recruited people like Steve Kerr to push the false narrative that stricter gun laws will eliminate mass shootings. When the truth is, the exact opposite is true. Like I told you the other day with that story in West Virginia, the best way to stop mass shootings, responsible citizens with guns. It's a strange thing. When a gunman is receiving return fire, they tend to run away or cease to exist. Either way, problem solved. They have recruited our favorite Easter egg, Megan Rapinoe, and the woke welfare recipients in the WNBA to push mythical issues involving women, equal pay for unequal value, inclusion for all, unless you're a straight white male. We only accept white males like Leah Thomas, who can mesmerize the world by being the first woman with a propeller. They recruited easily manipulated beta males like LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick to promote the created problem of mythical racism. They've used the mainstream media to try and convince us that the NFL is a racist organization run by evil white slave owners. When they can't find an issue of racism, they just make one up. And that brings us into the topic this morning, another media-created story of mythical racism in the NFL. I get accused sometimes of taking it easy on the NFL. I get accused of defending the league. Now, there are times where I harshly criticize the NFL. Hell, I just did the other day. But the reason I defend the NFL more than the NBA has to do with the difference in narratives, the difference in media coverage. The NBA is the lover of the mainstream media. They blindly defend the league even when it's indefensible. But there are very few in the media who defend the NFL. Hell, even people that make their living off the league, virgins like Mike Florio, who see a naked woman and rush into the loving embrace of Bomani Jones. Please, Bobo, protect me from that filthy nudity. Embrace me with your woke hug. My cheeks are wide open, ready for insertion. The reason I defend the NFL is because most of the accusations leveled against the league are 100% lies. It's bullshit. Just like what's happening right now with Jack Del Rio. I have been monitoring this story all week. The reason I didn't jump right on this yesterday, I wanted to give the story some time for the mainstream media to react. The big story in Washington, D.C. today is the collection of dumbasses they're calling a committee launching a hearing on what happened January 6th of last year. What happened that day was a social justice warrior's dream. Now, there are many dreams of an SJW, sex with Leah Thomas, staring at naked eaters of chocolate cake, protesting abortion rights, the unobtainable success of the WNBA. The mind of a social justice warrior is clouded with dreams, many of which will never happen. But what happened January 6th was the perfect crisis for them to implement more control. Look at all these angry white Trump supporters. They are dangerous. They're evil. We must build a wall around the Capitol, but let's continue tearing down the wall at the border. Now, we can debate back and forth all day about who is actually responsible for January 6th. Many believe the protest was infiltrated by filthy woke assholes who then blamed Trump supporters for the mess. But that's not the point of this video. This hearing happening in Washington today, it's nothing but a Hollywood production. It's bullshit. Monday, some shitfuck named Norm Eisen, and I label him a shitfuck because he is a legal analyst at CNN. I don't know anything about Norm Eisen, but you automatically lose all credibility when you boast about working at CNN. That is an automatic shitfuck label. Monday, Norm Eisen tweeted about the importance of this January 6th hearing. I am offering political guidance to this useless committee outlining how to federally charge Donald Trump and his evil allies of white people. Jack Del Rio, defensive coordinator of the Washington Redskins. KC, that is offensive. You can't call them Redskins anymore. They are the Washington Commanders. Fuck you, asshole. They're the Washington Redskins. I refuse to call them the Washington Commanders. They would be better off going back to the Washington football team. Washington Commanders? I mean, what kind of shit is that for an NFL team? It sounds like the group that invented the woke commandments. But anyway, Jack Del Rio tweeted this response. As you can see, Jack Del Rio is a proud graduate of the Behind the Line School of Common Sense. He asked a simple question. How come we're not investigating the riots in 2020 like we are investigating January 6th? I'll add to this question. How come we're not investigating the filth outside of Justice Kavanaugh's home right now, today? Have you seen those filthy people? I have the news on as I'm preparing this video. They're showing video of freshly bathed social justice warriors outside his home. As you guys know, Wednesday is Woke Bath Day, but it looks like some of them skipped the weekly woke bath yesterday. I see one dude in a raincoat doing the Tutti Frutti Jackson Mahomes dance outside Justin Kavanaugh's home. This man's got kids. Imagine one of your kids looking outside the window and seeing a filthy piece of shit dancing around like a wingless butterfly. My inside sources tell me Jackson Mahomes tried to reach out to this dumbass for a collaboration. Most SJWs, though, they can't afford cell phone plans, there was no Wi-Fi available, so the nasty fuck hadn't received the message yet. Jack Del Rio asked a simple, logical question. If we're gonna investigate January 6th, why are we not investigating the riots of 2020? Those riots affected real people. The riots, they were supposedly about systemic racism, but guess who most of the victims were? Black people. Black business owners, black homeowners. I remember seeing a black business owner interviewed in New York City. She was an older black lady. Her business had been destroyed by these filthy people rioting. She asked a logical question. How are you helping me? I'm black. My business is destroyed. Ma'am, the truth is they're not helping you. This is not about you. It's about control. This one simple tweet from Jack Del Rio stoked the flames of the mainstream media. There was no need for the magic woke 8-ball for guidance. They already knew how to twist the narrative. Mythical racism. Jack Del Rio was accused of being a racist. How can he ever coach black players again after a tweet like this? Yesterday, Jack Del Rio gave a press conference and was asked about his racist tweet. Here was his response.
I just asked a simple question, really. Let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things? Because it's kind of hard for me to say I can realistically look at it. I see the images on TV. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. Businesses are being burned down. No problem. And then we have a dust up at the Capitol. Well, there's nothing burned down. And we're not going to talk about, we're going to make that a major deal. I just think It's kind of two standards. And if we apply the same standard and we're going to be reasonable with each other, let's have a discussion.
Does that not sound like a common sense thinker? Sounds logical to me. The problem here, what Jack Del Rio doesn't realize, you're not talking to logical people. You're talking to ideologues. You're talking to graduates of Woke U, members of Woke United Methodists, people who have been propagandized to the point they no longer possess the ability to think for themselves. Jack Del Rio's right. There is a double standard, but that's what they want. That's the entire premise of the woke movement. They're allowed to speak. You're not. LeBron James, he can speak about politics. Steve Kerr can speak about gun control. Mina Kimes can create stories of mythical misogyny right after she poisons our minds with statistics no one cares about. Hey, KC, did you know Aaron Rodgers is the #1 quarterback in the NFL when the circumference of snow is less than half an inch? Hey, Mina, did you know I don't give a shit and you're completely useless? When it comes to 5 players in Tampa refusing to endorse the gay, the media position is shut up and play baseball. When it comes to Jack Del Rio asking a simple question, it's shut up and coach football. Let me show you another media tactic. They are twisting these comments by Jack Del Rio and spinning them into mythical racism. We already know that. But the message behind what he is saying is clear. If we're going to investigate one riot, why not investigate both? Now, they're accusing Jack Del Rio of racism, but isn't the negligence of investigating the riots in 2020 actual racism? You're investigating January 6th, which was supposedly all white Trump supporters, but you're not investigating 2020, which was supposedly all black people. Sounds like a racial double standard to me, but what the hell do I know? I didn't graduate from Woke U. What generally happens when the mainstream media is hit with the truth? They want to subvert your attention. They don't want you focusing on the truth. The truth is what they call misinformation. Take a look at this. These are the top 5 articles right now about Jack Del Rio. Do you notice a trend? They want you focused on him calling January 6th a dust-up. They don't want you focused on the real message. No. Look over here, peasant. Don't pay attention to the misinformation. They take one innocuous comment and make it the entire story. Now, unfortunately, Jack Del Rio broke the golden rule. You guys remember the golden rule. You never apologize to social justice warriors. These people are filth, the dregs of society, the lowest form of human life. They never deserve an apology. You're never in the wrong when you offend a useless motherfucker. I think Jack Del Rio was forced to apologize by the NFL front office. In other words, I think this apology was a directive from Roger Goodell. And I don't understand it. In terms of public perception, the NFL is damn near invincible. The average person doesn't listen to the media when they pretend the NFL is racist. So why would you bow the knee to people who pray to a fucking oak tree? Now, I partially understand why Jack Del Rio apologized. I mean, he wants to keep his job. But it's far past time for people like Jack Del Rio to stand by what they say. The dude's worth $85 million. You even had the support of some of your players. Defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, he came out and publicly supported Jack Del Rio. He said, we can have a difference of opinion and still work together. Actually, I don't even care about his opinion. As long as he shows up and works hard every day, we're good. With that being the case, who in the hell is Jack Del Rio apologizing to? He's apologizing to lonely men on Twitter whose idea of a naked woman requires an air pump. And he's apologizing to the useless mainstream media whose idea of a naked woman is Leah Thomas. To hell with Twitter and the media. Both are completely useless. Both Twitter and the media represent the opinion of less than 10% of the country. Basically, their opinion is meaningless. So stand by what you say. But give me your thoughts. What do you think about the overreaction to Jack Del Rio's comments and his subsequent apology? The apology really pisses me off. I'm sick of people saying the right thing and being forced to apologize or feel like they're forced to apologize. But let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.